and welcome back to another episode of Arise the Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me again for another soulful conversation and opportunity to get closer to your highest self. Welcome back to another episode of Side Notes. If you're new to this series, this will be in between my normal episodes where I basically dive deeper into the topics that I talk about and telling you how I actually practice what I preach and how everything I talk about relates to my real life. So my last episode that was uploaded was all about trusting in the unknown, falling in love with it, and embracing it. And today we're going to be talking about how my mini breakdowns, breakthroughs have all led me to trusting in the unknown more than ever and actually getting really excited about it rather than fearing it. So if you feel like you've been struggling with the unknown, just listen to me and hopefully this will give you an opportunity to understand how I came to some of the tips and advice that I gave in my last episode. Starting off, I think that I was fearing the unknown so much because of self-doubt. That was what my last two episodes were about before I did a side notes in a regular episode all about self-doubt, and I was having a lot of doubt that was causing me to fear the unknown. I was really using the unknown and framing it as this place where bad things happen and where the worst case scenarios were, instead of seeing it as a place where all of the best case scenarios could actually exist. And I think that when I'm doubting myself is really when I create so much more fear in my life, because I'm basically telling myself that I don't trust in what I can achieve, so that there's things to be scared of. And I feel like overcoming self-doubt was a huge part in being able to trust the unknown, but it was actually only just a piece of it, because it's one thing to trust yourself, but it's another thing to trust in the things that we can't see and the things that we don't have control over. And I found myself really focusing on not knowing if what I was doing was going to lead me to the results that I wanted, and wanting to know for sure that my dreams were a guarantee, and that was what was going to motivate me to keep going. But I felt so unmotivated to continue doing all of these things to get me to a place that I didn't even know was a sure outcome. And I guess to explain this a little bit more, I was having a lot of doubt and fear around the podcast. What's new? It's like the thing that I love most also brings me the most doubt and uncomfortability in my life, but I think that's all for a reason. Basically, how I've been trying to grow this podcast is by growing it on TikTok, because I know that most likely people aren't going to just stumble across my podcast in an app. You're going to connect with me on TikTok and then want to listen to what I have to say. So I've been spending a lot of time and energy in creating my TikTok, making things that people are going to enjoy and connect with, and growing it. And up until this big breakthrough that I'm going to talk about, I think I had been posting consistently on TikTok for maybe 2 or so months and gained 100 followers. And those 100 followers were very spread out over the couple months. And it was so crazy to me that I was posting 2 to 3 times a day and barely gaining followers. I would find myself going and checking other creators' accounts and being okay, how long have they been posting? How often do they post? How did they already have thousands of followers? And allowing the results that I was seeing to dictate how I was feeling. And so I started to feel oh my gosh, I've been doing this so consistently for 2 months, spending so much time, energy, and effort in the podcast and on TikTok, and it's not growing and it's not going anywhere. So is all of this just for nothing? I really started to doubt in my ability to have everything that I desire, or doubt that it was coming, because I was seeing no progress and no proof of it. And I found that when you're in this void and in this place of the unknown, we're always looking to our external to give us cues of, okay, I'm on the right path, I'm doing what I should be doing. And I was almost seeing the opposite of that, right? I was putting in so much energy and effort, feeling this is what I'm meant to do, but the results were not reflecting that back to me. And what I've really realized about my fear of the unknown and how uncomfortable I've been with it is that I was hyper focusing on the when and the how these things were going to come to me. I felt like I had so much trust in myself and in the outcome of this podcast blowing up, and I felt really good about that, and I can envision that and I can see it. But when I'm in the day-to-day of, making TikToks and looking at the engagement I'm getting and how many people are listening, I'm wait, but none of this is coming true. No one's listening. No one's watching. No one cares what I have to say. How is this podcast going to ever blow up if I can't even gain a follower on TikTok? And it really broke down to be this pure obsession with when and how my desires were going to manifest. And what I've come to learn with trusting the unknown is that you have to completely release the need to know how and when things are going to happen. The only thing that is up to you when you are creating and manifesting and attracting things into your world is the desire and the trust, but it is not up to you how and when you're going to receive things. And I've had to ground myself in that so much, but it has made a huge difference. I've gained a lot of followers on TikTok, what I call a lot of followers. I don't care what anybody says. I'm also living in a delusional reality right now where I'm declaring I have 5K. So, you know, I have a lot of followers. But I have gained more followers in the past like 2 weeks than I have in the past 2 months after I shifted this mindset. And I made a TikTok talking about this where I said, if the universe, God, a genie were to come down and tell me that all I had to do was keep posting consistently and one day it was all going to blow up for me, then I would continue to post and I would not focus on the results of those posts to tell me if I was doing the right thing. I would just continue to do it because God has already told me and confirmed my desires. And so once I started living like God has confirmed my desires, everything changed. I don't allow myself to get caught up in the views or the progress or the followers because God has already told me that it's happening. I trust so firmly in my ability to have anything that I desire. I trust so firmly in my vision that I don't need to see results right now because it could all change at one moment. I've adopted a few different mindsets that have helped me with this. One is being delusional. We just act as if and we just assume that it is happening regardless of what I'm seeing in my external reality. And I've also adopted the mindset that my dreams are already confirmed. God has confirmed the Amazon order of my desires, and I do not need to continue to check in for if those desires are being shipped to me. I trust that they are. So I've just released a lot of need to see results and allowing myself to really enjoy the process of creation and really know that it's all going to blow up one day. It is all going to happen one day, and that one day could be tomorrow if I choose to believe that, instead of getting so stuck in the belief that I need to be seeing proof in order to know that things are coming to me. I instead switch that to be, I know these things are coming to me, and so I will see proof of it. As always, this goes back to not allowing the external to dictate how we feel and just not focusing on numbers, progress, results in order to tell me that things are changing. I am changing my internal world and allowing the external to reflect that back to me instead of waiting for the external to change to tell me now I can feel safe and secure. I'm literally waking up every day and expecting my videos and my podcast to blow up. I'm expecting to gain large amounts of followers and large amounts of listeners, and I feel that in my bones instead of needing to see those things in order to feel like they are coming. I have such certainty now in what I want that I no longer am scared of the unknown. I'm actually excited about it. I no longer need to know how this is going to happen because the how is not up to me. And I think that's the most fun part, is getting to go along this journey with the universe and not have to dictate how the journey has to play out. So I think as a result of these shifts, I've been able to get really excited about the unknown and just excited about whatever journey is going to take me to where I want to be. I no longer am fearing how I'm going to get there or questioning how I'm going to get there. I'm just trusting. And it's been a really cool experience to see things kind of flow more easily into my life and allow myself to be in this state of receivership instead of feeling like I need to control everything. I just really shifted my beliefs to be that things can be easy and that they can be fun and that I can enjoy creation without needing to see such intense results from it or such crazy things come out of it. Like, I can just enjoy it for what it is and know that God is going to bring all of the things that I desire to me as long as I can hold that frequency. I realized that, fearing the unknown was again putting me on that fearful and lack vibration, and that is not where I want to be. I want to be on the vibration of joy and love and abundance, and the only way that I can do that is by allowing myself to surrender and trust to everything around me. I know that I can have everything I want, and it's not up to me how those things are going to come into my life. And I think the best part is kind of not knowing. Like, it's fun to be able to go on this journey and to explore whatever comes up along the way. And I always know that I'm experiencing these kind of blocks or challenges because it's getting me closer to what I need to know. So it's been really fun. And I just think that the unknown is such an exciting place. I know that it's very natural for us to be fearful of it, but reframing it has changed things for me. So I hope that my episode with all of the tips really helped you all as well. And I think beyond, fearing the unknown in terms of the podcast and like my passions and stuff, I've seen how not knowing what is going to happen leads me to envisioning worst case scenarios in so many other areas of life as well. It can be something so simple, but when we don't know how things are going to go, it's like our brain wants us to think that it's going to go badly, so we're better prepared if it does. And I've started to just like expect the best things no matter what. And I've been in phases of my life where I've done this as well, where I'm like really in tune with expecting the best and like knowing that things are going to work out for me. And I've been in phases where that's really hard for me to do. So I'm so happy that I've tapped back into that energy. But there's just been a lot of things lately that I'm like, okay, well, what if we just expected this to actually work out for the best instead of thinking that it's going to all go wrong? And again, not needing to know or control the journey in order to get there. I think another example of this could be from my dating life, which, very hesitant to talk about on here, but I'll open up a little bit more. I met someone and I really like them. And I think that normally what I do is if they're not, kind of showing me what I want or showing up exactly in the way that I want, I try to control that situation by then expecting the worst case scenario. I'm like, okay, they're not doing this, this, and this, or they're not showing up in this way. They must not like me. They must not want to be with me. This must be going nowhere. And kind of when I expect to see that outcome, I will expect certain behaviors and explain them in that way. So I guess an example would be like this person that I like, maybe they're not the best at texting or communicating or making plans. And in the past, I have allowed that to mean that, okay, they don't like me. They're never going to be able to show up for me in the ways that I want. And this is not worth my time because they're just going to disappoint me. And I've decided to completely reframe that to be, okay, maybe they're just like not great at texting. Maybe they don't love to text, maybe they're a little bit more go with the flow. Maybe they're this, that, and the other, but that doesn't have to mean anything about the way that they feel about me or the way that I feel about them. I can allow this other person to operate exactly how they want. And if I want this to work out for the best, all I have to do is hold the vision of that and let their behaviors align with that belief instead of with the belief that none of it is going to work out. Because as I've been kind of hinting at in the past few episodes, I'm waiting to be ready to do an episode all about how changing your subconscious beliefs will change your life. But I'm slowly adopting that into everything that I do. And I feel like I had this like limiting belief around this person of who they could be or like what they were capable of showing up for me was. And now I'm choosing to change that belief and allow that belief to in turn change how I view their behaviors. I hope that makes sense. I can't think of like a better example right now, but if you can imagine viewing a situation but choosing to view the meaning of that situation differently, I think you will see how that situation playing out will have different meaning. It's really about the meaning that we assign to things. And when you choose to change that meaning, everything you see around you will also change as well. So with the unknown, with dating, relationships, with my career and my podcast, like I'm choosing to believe in the good things to come and allowing the things that happen along the way to be evidence of those good things instead of being evidence of the opposite. So whereas before I was getting really frustrated with low views on TikTok or not gaining followers or whatever it might be, now whatever amount of views I get, whatever followers I gain, I allow to be evidence of my dreams coming true. I'm like, oh, I gained 10 followers in a week. We're blowing up right now. Like, this is blowing up, and I can't believe that God is allowing me to have all of this abundance, and I'm so excited for when this gets even bigger than it is now, instead of being like, oh my gosh, I've only gained 10 followers, like this is going nowhere. It really is about how you choose to reframe things and how you choose to attach meaning to things in your life. So I'm allowing whatever progress is being made, whatever is happening, I'm reframing that as evidence that my dreams are manifesting instead of being evidence that none of it is happening. And I think that is what is making the biggest shift in my life. I'm not getting frustrated with the results I see. I'm allowing that to excite me and provide me evidence that it's all coming to me. I'm exactly where I need to be. I am on the right path, and I can trust in that instead of needing to control and know and understand it all. I'm just flowing, and it feels so good. So I hope you can apply that a little bit in your life wherever you might be fearing the unknown, and allow things to really build up that evidence of what you want it to be, and attach the meaning you desire to these situations instead of allowing them to mean something that they don't even mean at all. And one of the things that I've also been thinking about is, if you know, like when two kids are raised in the same household, they can have completely different perspectives on how their childhood was. I feel like that is the exact same thing with our lives. However your life is playing out right now, you can either choose that to mean one thing or the other, and the way that your life and your reality looks is going to conform to what you believe about it. So I am choosing to believe that my dreams are coming, that I am going to be big and have this super successful podcast, and everything I see along the way is evidence of that, not evidence of it not happening. So decide what meaning you want to attach to the things in your life, and decide how you want your life to look, and allow it to change before your eyes. We're not changing reality, we're changing how we believe to see reality, and that is going to make the external change. So I hope you guys enjoyed getting to hear a little bit about how I've been getting more comfortable with the unknown, and I hope this episode and the last one really got you excited about the possibilities that exist for you. There's so much out there, and I think not knowing what, when, how it's going to come is the best part. Let's leave a little bit up to chance. Let's not know everything that's going to happen. Let's not be obsessed with it. Let's flow. Let's accept. Let's allow. Let's receive, and let's trust in the good things to come. So thank you so much for listening. As always, I appreciate every single one of you, and I can't wait to talk to you in the next episode. As always, sending you love and light.